Well, now, I have said in our mission statement that there would be times when we will present legends and lore and stories, and sometimes pretty fantastical stories. They are simply occurrences that have been passed along around campfires and perhaps overindulged whiskey bars. Nevertheless, they are very much integral parts of the Superstition Mountain legacy. The interpretation of these stories now is only limited to how deeply you allow your imagination to delve into their suspicious, if not sometimes superstitious nature. Now that said, hang on to your hat. This story actually did take place. Finding Bigfoot, not so much. Many years ago, a call was received by one of our local historians in the Junction from a Mr. C. Thomas Biscardi from over there in Northern California. He was interested in a Yeti and a Bigfoot in Revis Valley. It's a place where Bigfoot could survive, and Mr. Biscardi wanted to know how to get there. Well, that came as a surprise to pretty much everybody in the Junction. A story about Bigfoot in the Superstition Wilderness was ridiculous at best. But then it was recalled there was another tale about a strange encounter more than 80 years prior to that, when two prospectors hiked into the area around Pope Springs. They were in search of gold, like pretty much everybody else was. Pope Springs is about 1.5 miles southeast of Rogers Trough Trailhead. The two prospectors were all settled in when one night something attacked the camp. Whatever was killed and hauled off their burro before they could fire a shot must have been something. Both men said that they got a good look at the huge beast as it dragged their burro off. But after that, they stayed up, wide awake, too scared to go to sleep. They kept trying to figure out how big an animal would have to be to carry off a 450-pound burro. Later, when the prospectors were pressed by the newspapers to describe their uninvited intruder, they said it was large, smelly, strange sort of an animal with matted, coarse, and tangled hair. They said it was tall. They said it was every bit of 8 to 10 feet tall. Although they couldn't actually identify the beast as an animal or a human, they said that it smelled like, well, you know what bears do. And it was unusually agile on its back feet. They guessed it weighed between 400 and 800 pounds. It was these two stories that probably fueled the imagination of Tom Biscardi, the real Bigfoot hunter. But that wasn't the end of the reported sightings of the elusive creature. Now, Tom had already left. He was gone, but there were also other reports. In the fall of 2000, there was a report that said while riding horseback north of Revis Ranch, a large black bear was spotted. The man who made the report said if a person had any kind of imagination at all, they could have easily envisioned Bigfoot running across the old tall grass pasture. He looked just like a Bigfoot. And then a few years later, after that, it was reported that a large upright animal spooked a rider and pack horse near the headwaters of Rough Canyon along the northern edge of White Mountain. This story surfaced about 15 years ago. And I can tell you the Rough Canyon area is extremely remote and ignored by most folks because it is almost impossible to get through the area. The rider who reported the large upright animal said he was trying to get to the headwaters of Rough Canyon to set up a camp and explore the area for archaeological sites. He claimed that he was studying the pattern of inhabited areas north of White Mountain and south of Revis Mountain. Well, and after that, there were several other sightings, but they all turned out to be just as unsuccessful at finding and capturing Bigfoot as Tom Biscardi's endeavors had been. But make no mistake, my friends, the 250 square miles we call the Superstition Wilderness area, with the Superstition Mountain right in the middle, has always been a region that attracted the unusual and unexplained. Thank you for watching this episode of Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains.